Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. So I'm doing a little essential guide of the certain tools and equipment you might want to take away with you, whether you're travelling here in your own country or if you're travelling abroad. I hope these little essentials will get you out of any trouble that you may face. So obviously you may be going with just a normal hotel or B&B, Airbnb or whatever, then you can't rely on there to be any tools or anything there. Or you might be going with a riders group and you might have tools. Either way, I always like to take a torque wrench. I feel safe in rebuilding my bike with my own torque wrench, as I know it works, and that's the most important thing. So that's a good essential. Then a multi-tool for if you are out on the trail and you need to do any micro adjustments. They're always super handy just to get you out of a bit of trouble. I also like to take a couple of gear cables with me, just in case one breaks. I would recommend that you do a gear service or take it to your local shop and give your bike a good once over before you head away anyway. But especially if you are out on the trail and you snap a gear cable, at least if you've got one, then you can get back and use your gears, which is always helpful. Yeah, and also I always like to take an old chain, just in case the inevitable does happen, you snap and lose your chain. But if not, I've always taken some power links anyway, just in case I can repair the chain out on the trail. So out on the trail, I probably wouldn't take the chain. I would take some power links and hopefully you wouldn't lose your chain. But if you do, then at least you know when you get back to base camp, you have got one there sitting there to get you for the rest of your holiday. I also like to take spare brake pads. Obviously, again, go to your local bike shop, get some new ones fitted, brakes bled, along with a service, and then you shouldn't have to worry. But inevitably, if something does happen or you burn through your pads, at least if you've got some to your exact brakes, you can't go wrong. Tubeless repair kits are always essential when you're out on the trail. I like to use a CO2 can, but also do take a pump with me as well, just so I can top it up if need be. And if all else fails and you get a real big blowout and you can't repair it with a plug, then take a tube. I run a mullet setup on my Common Cell Meta SX, and basically I will always take a 27.5 because it can stretch over to 29 as well if need be. Instead of taking two different sizes or taking a chance of not having one, just be safe and take an inch with you. A few other little essentials as well. I mean, I do like a pressure gauge and also a shock pump, and basically with those, that means I can set my bike up properly when I arrive to my destination, and that is always just reassuring that you run on your same settings. Inevitably, the worst could happen and you could break a mech hanger, clipping a rock or something. So a spare mech hanger is a really good idea to take one of those. And it has happened in the past to someone I know, and it does happen from time to time, is your rear axle can actually snap. So get one from your manufacturer. There's a good company called Birdtech, you may have heard of them obviously. They do lots of axles on there as well. And if you can't find the one you've got for your bike, then go to your actual bike supplier or your local bike shop will definitely help you out. And finally, I believe that if you are going to head abroad, that means that you are going to be packing your bag and also trusting the airline to keep it delivered to your destination. Nowadays you can buy Apple AirTags. There's probably other brands, but Apple AirTags are the ones to go for. And obviously I run on an iPhone, so it was a no-brainer to buy one of those. And with that, I wouldn't just like plonk it in your bag, because your bags can split open. I had a friend whose bag split when we arrived at a destination off the airline, and luckily nothing was lost or anything, but heaven forbid if your AirTag got lost and it was sent to a different country, I think you'd be panicking. So find a location on your bike, either in the bike somewhere where it can't be seen, or at least tape it to your bike. If you're not going to bother stripping it down to bury it anywhere, then at least get it strapped on there somewhere so you know that it's your bike that's being followed via your phone. So there we go. It's just a few little bits and bobs that you might need when you're out on the travels. There's probably more you could take, and if you was traveling in a vehicle, you could obviously take a toolbox with even more essentials. But I think mainly with this lot, you could easily fit it in a backpack. You could easily fit it in a saddlebag, maybe. Well, probably a bit tight to be fair, but you could definitely get it in a hip pack. So there's no reason why you couldn't maybe take all this lot with you out on the trail. So I hope this helps out on your travels and it keeps you travelling along and enjoying your ride and your holiday. And if so, please do give it a like if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't subscribed, then I'd really appreciate it if you did join in. I've got lots of cool things other than just essentials. I do lots of trips away and plenty of riding, so it's all good fun, and obviously I appreciate any of you coming along for the journey. Well, until next time, stay awesome. See you on the hill. Peace.